iconoclast অর্থ লালিত ধারণা বা প্রতিষ্ঠানকে আক্রমণ করে এমন কেউ প্রচলিত ধ্যানধারণা চূর্ণকারী someone who attacks cherished ideas or institutions.
Iconoclast is a noun.
Are you always challenging the establishment? Or provoking popular thought by attacking traditions and institutions? Then you're definitely an iconoclast. To be called an iconoclast today is usually kind of cool. They are rugged individualists, bold thinkers, who don't give a hoot what tradition calls for. But back in medieval Greece, the iconoclasts had a more thuggish reputation. Stemming from the Greek words icon, meaning image, and clasts, meaning breaker, an iconoclast was someone who destroyed religious sculptures and paintings. Memory aid to help you memorize this. Icon equals idol. Clash equals fragments. So, one who destroys idols into pieces is iconoclast.
iconoclast অর্থ লালিত ধারণা বা প্রতিষ্ঠানকে আক্রমণ করে এমন কেউ প্রচলিত ধ্যানধারণা চূর্ণকারী someone who attacks cherished ideas or institutions.
Synonym: critic, cynic, dissenter, dissident, heretic, radical, rebel, denouncer. Antonym: believer. Dave Soldier is an iconoclast, trying to expand our idea of what music can be.
iconoclast অর্থ লালিত ধারণা বা প্রতিষ্ঠানকে আক্রমণ করে এমন কেউ প্রচলিত ধ্যানধারণা চূর্ণকারী someone who attacks cherished ideas or institutions. Idolatry অর্থ দেবতা হিসাবে বস্তু বা মূর্তির পূজা the worship of objects or images as gods.
Idolatry is a noun. Idolatry means the worship of images, as if they were gods. Many religions prohibit idolatry, some even to the extent of forbidding any representational objects in houses of worship. Idol sits at the head of the word idolatry. If you worship, or even just look up to, a person or a thing, you are said to idolize them. For some modern idolaters, money is their idol, while for others it is celebrities, and for still others their jobs. Memory aid to help you memorize this. Idol equals ideal. We worship ideal people.
Idolatry অর্থ দেবতা হিসাবে বস্তু বা মূর্তির পূজা the worship of objects or images as gods.
Synonym: adoration, worship, idolism. She must have looked into our eyes and seen the shining idolatry there and understood that she was trapped.
Idolatry অর্থ দেবতা হিসাবে বস্তু বা মূর্তির পূজা the worship of objects or images as gods. Immutable অর্থ বিষয় বা পরিবর্তনের জন্য সংবেদনশীল নয় not subject or susceptible to change or variation.
Immutable is an adjective. If you can't change it, it's immutable. There are many things in life that are immutable. These unchangeable things include death, taxes, and the laws of physics. If you can't change it, it's immutable. There are many things in life that are immutable. These unchangeable things include death, taxes, and the laws of physics. The adjective immutable has Latin roots that mean not changeable. The Latin prefix for not is in, but the spelling changes when the prefix is put before the consonant m. Memory aid. IMMU, movable, table, so it's permanently in one place unchanged. Transmute equals change. But immutable equals changeless. Unchangeable equals immovable equals immutable.
Immutable অর্থ বিষয় বা পরিবর্তনের জন্য সংবেদনশীল নয়। Not subject or susceptible to change or variation.
Synonym: abiding, enduring, immovable, inflexible, sacrosanct. Antonym: alterable, changeable, flexible, mutable, variable. Two things are immutable about us as living, breathing organisms.
Immutable. অর্থ: বিষয় বা পরিবর্তনের জন্য সংবেদনশীল নয়। Not subject or susceptible to change or variation. Impair. গুণমান হ্রাস করা, কম কার্যকর করা। To weaken or make worse.
Impair is a verb. Impairer is a noun. Impairer is the person who impairs the situation or condition. If you make bad decisions in the morning after drinking coffee, you might conclude that caffeine tends to impair your judgment. When you impair something, you damage it or make it work poorly. The root of the verb impair traces back to the Latin word pejorar, meaning to make worse, and that's still what happens if you impair something. Whether it's communication, visibility, or your marriage prospects, if you impair it, you make it worse. The word can be used for situations that describe something that has deteriorated, such as snow continued to impair driving conditions.
Memory aid to remember this. Impair equals in plus pair. If you wear incorrect pair of shoes, you may hurt yourself while walking. In other words, you may impair the condition.
Impair. গুণমান হ্রাস করা, কম কার্যকর করা। To weaken or make worse.
Synonym:
Blunt, damage, debilitate, decrease, destroy, diminish, prejudice, tarnish.
Antonym:
Aid, assist, cure, develop, enlarge, expand, extend. Instead, it's more consistent with the idea that repeated cold exposure might actually impair your toes' ability to handle the cold.
Impair. গুণমান হ্রাস করা, কম কার্যকর করা। To weaken or make worse. Impassive. অনুভূতি শূন্য, নিরাসক্ত, অনাসক্ত. Having or revealing little emotion or sensibility.
Impassive is an adjective. Impassively is the adverb of impassive. Impassiveness and impassivity is the noun of impassive. Someone who doesn't seem to react, who is always taking a pass in the conversation of life, can be described as impassive. Impassive is tricky, as it sounds it should be the opposite of passive. It's not, though. The fact is you can be passive and impassive at the same time. When a passive person gets passed over for a promotion at work, their face might remain impassive upon hearing the news. Memory aid to help you memorize this. Impassive equals I plus M plus passive. Someone saying, I am passive, a deadpan, expressionless, poker-faced, unexpressive.
Impassive. অনুভূতি শূন্য, নিরাসক্ত, অনাসক্ত. Having or revealing little emotion or sensibility.
Synonym:
Emotionless, placid, reticent, serene, stoic, stolid, taciturn, unemotional, unflappable, unruffled.
Antonym:
Agitated, communicative, emotional, excited, feeling, nervous. Probably what most recommended her to the critical mind of Miss Warrender was her impassive taciturnity.
Impassive. অনুভূতি শূন্য, নিরাসক্ত, অনাসক্ত, having or revealing little emotion or sensibility. Impede. ব্যাহত করা, বাধা দেওয়া, বিঘ্ন ঘটানা, be a hindrance or obstacle to.
Impede is a verb. Impeder is the noun of impede. To impede something is to delay or block its progress or movement. Carrying 6 heavy bags will impede your progress if you're trying to walk across town in a hurry. Impede comes from the Latin impedire, which literally means to hold the feet, formed from the prefix in dash, in, plus pes, foot. Think about walking with a cast on your foot, how slow and awkward that would be. If you struggle with reading, that might impede your progress in your social studies class. An impediment is something that impedes, such as a physical defect that affects speech, a speech impediment.
Memory aid to remember this.
Impede equals im, not, plus pede. Not going forward.
Impede. ব্যাহত করা, বাধা দেওয়া, বিঘ্ন ঘটানা, be a hindrance or obstacle to.
Synonym.
Deter. Disrupt. Retard. Stymie. Thwart.
Antonym.
Advance. Aid. Allow. Assist. Encourage. Expedite. As outcomes, elimination and endemic transmission may be opposites, but thinking that we need to choose one or the other is a mistake that can impede public understanding of how to manage the pandemic.
Impede. ব্যাহত করা, বাধা দেওয়া, বিঘ্ন ঘটানা, be a hindrance or obstacle to. Impermeable. অপ্রবেশ্য, অভেদ্য, preventing especially liquids to pass or diffuse through.
Impermeable is an adjective. Impermeability is the noun of impermeable. If you have a waterproof raincoat, you could say that your coat is impermeable to the rain. Something that is impermeable does not allow water or liquid to pass through it. Made up of the prefix im, meaning not, and the adjective permeable, meaning allowing to pass through, impermeable is used in much the same way as impervious or impenetrable. However, more so than these words, impermeable is especially associated with liquids and is often used in a scientific or technical context. Some gadgets, like waterproof watches and underwater cameras, are designed to be impermeable.
Memory aid to remember this.
Impermeable, impermeable. I'm meaning not. And the adjective permeable, meaning allowing to pass through. So impermeable is not allowing to pass through. Impermeable. অপ্রবেশ্য, অভেদ্য, preventing especially liquids to pass or diffuse through.
Synonym.
Airtight. Dense. Hermetic. Unpassable. Impervious. Leakproof. Non-porous. Sealed. Waterproof. Watertight. Special, impermeable tape that seals a metal or carbon fiber when bed against air loss, especially around the spoke holes. Impermeable. অপ্রবেশ্য, অভেদ্য, preventing especially liquids to pass or diffuse through.